Hey there, guys. I want to thank you for joining today's midday live stream as always. So, before I get started with talking specifically about today's topic, I do want to mention that I have extended the New Year sale for my online fitness coaching program. So, you'll get 60% off the duration of the program that you choose, and that is going to be going on until at least January 15th, to where you can receive that offer. So you can get that at this moment, and just all you got to do is schedule a consultation with me. You can reach out and send me a direct message and let me know that you're interested. I also have a website that you can go to, which is bponlinefitness.com. On there, you can schedule your consultation as well. It'll take you to a separate link that'll go through Top Form, where you'll sign a form in order to schedule your consultation with me. So that's another option that you can do. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. And I would be willing to help you out in any way that I can to help you reach your fitness goal. But again, that's going to be going on at least until next week. The last day I'm going to offer this sale is on January the 15th. So just be aware of that. And it's 60% off all the programs, which is a pretty good deal. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out. So with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and talk and sort of expand upon some of the topics we talked about last week. Because a lot of the topics that I'm sort of going through this month are going to be more geared towards the new year, and more geared to individuals who are just starting out with their journey, and anybody who is just working on building a fitness routine or building, healthier habits or anything of that sort. And that's what we're going to go over today, is discussing a little bit about how you build healthy habits. What is the process that you go through in order to build those habits? So these are the topics that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to go through individually. So we're going to start with starting small, of course. You want to know how to set clear goals, establish a routine, focus on one habit at a time, track your progress, and reward yourself. So these are the 6 different sort of topics that we're going to discuss as it relates to building healthy habits in your daily life. So the first thing you need to do is to start small. Small changes are easier to incorporate into your daily routine. They're less likely to disrupt your existing lifestyle and can be sustained over the long term. When habits are too ambitious or require a significant time commitment, it's easy to become discouraged and give up. So, this is pretty much a self explanatory sort of point to go over, but it is very essential. And the reason I say that is, especially with this time of year and when people try to start, or they're going towards their New Year's resolution, they have these very ambitious goals. And it's not a bad thing to have ambitious goals. But when you have such a broad goal and that you're working towards and you don't have a proper structure, then you're going to fall off the wagon. It's just how it works. When you don't have a specific structure on how to reach that specific goal, you're going to fall off the wagon. And the reason why I mention this a lot, and I mention this with clients as well, or any potential clients that I speak to in regards to getting started with a online coaching program, I always mention that defining your goal is the essential aspect to really reaching your goal. You have to clearly define your goal that you're pursuing. It does not need to be broad. It doesn't need to be like, want to lose fat, or I want to gain muscle, or maybe you want to gain a little bit of muscle mass. You've got to have a specific sort of defining goal that you're pursuing. It needs to be detailed. And I always ask that every time when I do a call with somebody who's interested in a coaching program, because you need to know that first. In order to reach your goal, you need to have a clear cut guide or a clear-cut example of what you're pursuing. So it needs to be detailed. How much weight are you wanting to lose? How much muscle mass are you wanting to build? How committed are you to your specific goal? So, you know, going back into this as far as it relates to starting small, when you're getting into a goal and when you're working towards a goal, your habits and lifestyle, of course, are not going to match that when you start out. You're going to have to gradually sort of adjust your habits and lifestyle. And the way you do this is you start with small habits. You start gradually with building healthier habits, whether it being eating more nutritious foods. You don't have to completely eliminate your existing habits, is what I'm saying. You just need to have small ways to incorporate the more healthier habits on top of your already existing habits, if that makes sense. So you don't want it to necessarily disrupt your lifestyle, but you want to make these gradual changes in your lifestyle for these habits, for these healthier habits. So, for example, like with working out or exercising, what you need to do is maybe 10 to 15 minutes of working out. If you're not used to a workout routine, and you're just out of shape at the moment, start with really small durations of workouts. If you can do 30 minutes, do 30 minutes. If you can do 15, do 15. But do some duration of workout to get adjusted to that routine. And as you adjust and as you do, these small habits, you're going to notice that, okay, I'm getting adjusted to this, and then I can gradually sort of move into these bigger habits, and I can work out maybe for an hour more or maybe for 30 minutes more. So once you sort of have implemented these smaller habits, you get adjusted to them, and then it starts to become a part of your daily routine. So the main thing is, it's great to be ambitious and it's great to have you know, really big goals, but you need to start at the smallest aspect of that specific goal. So, if muscle gain is your goal, start gradually with weightlifting. If fat loss is your goal, start gradually with weightlifting as well as cardio. You just need to implement those small changes. That's the same with eating healthy. You don't necessarily have to change your diet completely. You just need to learn how to make those specific changes. Learn how to maybe in your existing diet, maybe add a salad in your day, you know on top of what you would normally eat, and then sort of get adjusted to maybe adding a little bit more healthier meals throughout the day, if that's making sense to you. So that's what you need to do. It's very simple. A lot of people really just kind of make the process very difficult because they throw these huge goals in there that they want to achieve, but they don't have a roadmap on how to get there, basically. So that's the first thing you need to do, is to start small. This is what I basically just discussed. But let's go ahead and expand on this a little bit more. So, setting clear goals. Again, like I mentioned, this is one thing I push and push upon any of my new clients or any potential clients that are wanting to work with me, that you need to set these clear goals. So the first thing is, you need to start by understanding why you want to establish a particular habit. Your motivation will drive your commitment to your goal. Ask yourself questions like, why is this habit important to me? How will it improve my well-being or quality of life? So clearly define your goal. Again, vague goals make it difficult to measure progress and to stay motivated over the long term, especially. Instead of a general goal like exercise more, specify a clear target, such as walk for 30 minutes every day or complete a 20-minute workout 3 times a week. See how that is really clearly defined? Do goals like that. Start those goals. And then as you work through completing those specific goals, then start to gradually work towards your overall main goal, which is likely to gain muscle. But you need to have those clear cut target specific goals in order to reach that more longer term goal, if that makes sense. So let me sort of go through this again. So the first thing, and I would definitely take notes on this. This is something, and this can not only be related specifically to fitness and nutrition, but this can be related to so many different aspects in life. Any sort of lifestyle changes that you're trying to make, you can use this in the same sort of way. So the first thing you need to do is start by understanding why you want to establish a particular habit. Your motivation will drive your commitment to that goal. Ask yourself ask yourself questions like, why is that habit or this habit important to me? How will it improve my well-being or quality of life? Clearly define your goal. Again, vague goals make it difficult to measure progress and stay motivated over a long period of time. So specify a clear target goal, such as walking a specific amount of time per day, such as working out a specific amount of time per week. Again, you can do it in multiple different ways, but that's just giving you a great example of how to clearly define your goals. So that's another thing you need to keep in mind on how to stay on track and work towards building these healthier habits. So establishing a routine, and this sort of goes hand in hand with the other 2 points that we just talked about. So establishing a routine is crucial for building and maintaining healthy habits. A well-defined routine provides structure, consistency, and a framework for incorporating positive behaviors into your daily life. So determine the specific healthy habits you want to develop, whether it's exercise, proper nutrition, sleep, or stress management, and clarify your priorities. So establishing a routine can be hard. So again, this sort of goes back into the starting small aspect. Make small changes, you know, like the way you could do it is look at your overall daily routine that you perform every day and look at ways that you could implement a small healthy habit into your existing routine that doesn't really completely change your whole routine too much, but that makes a little bit of an adjustment to your existing routine, if that makes sense. So you just need to work on establishing a little bit of these smaller habits, healthy habits into your day. And then as you adjust, you're going to be able to keep that routine going because it's a part of something you do in your day-to-day life. It's a daily activity basically after a while because you do it so often. That's the same way with how workout is with me. I mean, I established a time specifically that I go to the gym. That's the same can be said for, having a consistent sleep schedule. There's a specific time of, you know, specific time of the night that I go to bed, and there's a specific time in the morning that I wake up. Because I've been doing this routine for so long, I've become adjusted to it. And before, I used to stay up a little bit later than I used to, like going to, discussing the bedtime routine. I used to stay up a little bit later, and then I sort of adjusted my routine. I was like, okay, this will be my time where I'm gonna go to bed, or I'm gonna sort of wind down, and then, I'm gonna set an alarm for 5 o'clock. And my body's become adjusted to that now, so I really don't need an alarm anymore because I, have my body clock that automatically is attached to that sleep routine. So with working out, usually, my workout, I always get about 5 usually. And then, I'm working on a few things before I start working out. So I usually get my workout started at around 7, but it's consistent every day. I work out at the same time every day, and I've built that routine. It's just a part of my daily routine. And it's something that you're just going to have to gradually get adjusted to. Again, just find a specific spot in your routine at this moment and figure out a way, what maybe like 10 to 15 minutes in your overall routine for the day. What can I put in my routine to, establish a healthier habit? That could be, eating better. That could be exercising just a little a day. That's all you have to do is sort of find that specific area in your existing routine that doesn't change your lifestyle too much, but allows you to work towards these healthier habits. So focus on one habit at a time. And this is another big one. And you can basically see sort of what I'm trying to get across is this whole aspect of small. Starting small is where it's at. Starting small, the small steps are where you get to the larger, you know, the overall goal in itself. So trying to change multiple habits simultaneously can be overwhelming and lead to a sense of being stretched too thin. So, this can make it difficult to stay committed and focused on each individual habit. So, just start with that one habit. You know, what's one specific, habit that you could, great example is focusing on one habit that you could easily, implement into your routine. That's not too drastic of a change, but that's enough of a change to where it's going to lead to, a more healthier lifestyle, basically. That could be slightly changing your nutrition. That could be, especially if you're working on, wanting to weight lift more, that could be maybe 10 to 15 minutes of weightlifting at the gym, or maybe 10 to 15 minutes of weightlifting if you have like equipment at home, or maybe walking 10 to 15 minutes walking, something small. Just focus on that particular habit. Once you've gotten adjusted to that habit, then you can change the duration of that habit. Maybe you want to work out longer, maybe you want to walk a little bit longer, maybe you want to change specific foods that you eat throughout the day. So start with a specific habit that would I would say start with something that you can easily adjust to begin with. And once that habit has become, a part of your routine, then work on another one. Work on something that goes towards your goal, basically. Tracking your progress. This is something that I do all the time. And this is something that I do especially, pretty much every aspect of my whole, as it relates to fitness and nutrition. I pretty much track everything, my hydration as well. Because one of my goals last year was to start drinking more water because I felt like that's something that I lacked in. And I made it a goal to, start tracking how much water I was drinking. And tracking that progress is something that really helped me to stay on track towards, getting the sufficient amount of water that I need to get in a day. So going back to this, I just wanted to mention that because I've done this myself many times when it comes to the aspect of tracking progress. So keep a journal to record your daily observations and experiences related to the habit. Note any challenges, successes, or changes in your feelings or behavior. These can help you identify triggers or obstacles and make necessary adjustments. So consider using a habit tracking app, which is something that I use myself, or a simple paper calendar to mark off each day you successfully complete your habit. This visual representation makes it easy to see your streaks and identify patterns over time. There's many options that I would recommend. You know, I kind of do sort of a hybrid thing. So when I'm tracking specific things, or I'm tracking, things that I need to do in a day, or a part of my routine, whether it be nutrition, whether it be, getting more water, like hydration, whether it be, tracking my food intake or tracking my workouts as well. There's different sort of methods that I use for each one of these. One example that I could give you is when I track my workouts, I actually do it in my notes app on my phone. I know that sounds a little odd, because you use different apps to track workouts, but I like to do it in a very simplistic way. So I know, I can look, I make like a graph in my notes app, and I just set, what workouts am I doing today? I label the specific workout on one side of the graph, and then I'll label how many sets and reps on the other side. It's just a really simple graph, but I can kind of go back through my notes and I can look at what did I do last week differently? How much weight did I lift last week versus this week? So, and again, you could write that down too. You could do that as a journal, or you could do it on your phone with notes. You can find apps as well that allow you to maybe seamlessly track your workouts a little bit better than just using a graph on your phone, or graphing on just a physical journal. For example, like with my hydration, I track it a little bit differently than the way I track my workouts. With my hydration, I actually use a app called Water Llama. And so what it is, it's a very simple app. All you do is basically go in there. After I drink a bottle of water, I'll go in there and say, okay, I drank 17 ounces. And it'll basically give you sort of this specific, you know, shows you a visual representation of how much water you drank today. That kind of gives you a little bit of motivation, to fill up that bar basically. Another thing that I can mention is with my nutrition, I use MyFitnessPal. It's a very simple app. It's really easy to use to log your meals. All you do is you search your specific meals. You don't have to put individual calories or anything like that in. You just search, for example, a lot of times I eat grilled chicken or vegetables and rice. You put that in, it logs in your nutrition and gives you exactly the macronutrient information, how much protein is in that specific meal, how much carbs are in that meal, how much fats are in that meal. So you get all of that when you use that app. And I'm not saying you have to use these apps in particular. These are just different methods that I use to track various aspects, of my life in my daily routine. If you're working towards a fitness or nutrition goal, you can try these things out. I actually have a physical journal that I use when I'm keeping track of all my stuff that I do with my work related stuff. I do different methods and they all work. I'm so used to all these methods. I've created these, little small routines. And so everything just kind of works seamlessly. And it's something that you just have to get adjusted to with tracking specific things. And once you sort of it is hard to start getting started, but once you start small and you just start tracking little things, you do get adjusted and it becomes a part of that existing routine you already have. So going back over this, keep a journal or a record, something that is, fits with your specific lifestyle. If you like to use a journal, a physical journal, like I just mentioned, use that. If you like to use, your phone or notes on your phone, or you like to use apps, use that. Whatever, use different things. Try different methods in order to keep track of your progress. You can use a calendar. There's a bunch of different things that you can try, but find what works specifically for you. And, if one method doesn't work, try something different to track your progress because we're all kind of different. I like a mix of different things. I like to look at physical stuff, but I also like to look at stuff, on my phone visually that's a little bit easier. It just kind of depends on how your sort of mindset for tracking. So the last point I want to mention here is rewarding yourself. So rewarding yourself is very important, and it's something that is going to help you stay on track more. So break down your larger health goals into smaller achievable milestones. Celebrate each milestone as you reach it. For example, if your goal is weight loss, celebrate every 5 pounds you've lost. Make a list of rewards that motivate you and are aligned with your goal. This could include a day off, hobby you enjoy, relaxing bath, or anything else that brings you joy. This is very self explanatory and very easy, and it's something that is a great motivator. This can go in the same realm as tracking your progress. So, as you're tracking your progress, if you're meeting a specific milestone that you're pursuing, then reward yourself. Include something small that you like to do. Maybe you want to, if you want to purchase something for yourself, that specific day when you've reached a milestone, do that. Or if you, maybe want to take the day off and relax once you've reached that milestone, do that. Rewarding yourself is another great motivator, and it's going to help you stay on track, and you're going to want to reach more milestones because you're having those rewards that you're giving yourself basically. So it's another great motivator to stay on track. And again, it can kind of go hand in hand with tracking your progress. As you're tracking your progress, you can decide, okay, once I reach this specific, point as I'm, tracking my progress, then I'm going to reward myself. So that's something else that you can try. So I hope that you guys found this very informative. I know I kind of went into detail a little bit about these things, but the reason why is because these are the key basically the key aspects to really reaching a fitness goal, and a lot of people don't realize that. Yes, of course you need to work out, of course you need to have nutrition, you need to have healthy nutrition, of course you need to you know be able to recover and sleep well. But in order to really work towards that, you need to define specifically where you're going. It's basically a roadmap is the way that I always like to describe it. You've got to know where you're going, because if you don't have a clear structure and you don't have a clear plan, and you're not tracking where you've been, you're going to be lost as you're going through your journey. You're just going to be lost, and you're not going to know where to go next because you not really have a record of where you've been. So this is one of the first things that you need to really master in order to reach any particular fitness goal, nutrition goal, anything, is to know exactly and clearly define that goal that you're pursuing, so that you can work towards that goal, and you can start small and you can change little habits in your day. Again, this is not about completely changing your lifestyle. A lot of times, you have a lot of these trends and a lot of these fads out there, a lot of these various different diets that just, offer this quick fix. It's to really have long lasting results. It is about starting small. It is about gradually changing your habits. It's not about these drastic changes. You don't need to make a drastic change. You just need to start small. Then, once you've adjusted, then you can start implementing more healthy habits into your routine. So, this is something I know I'm really pushing this, but this is the most important aspect of anything you do when it comes to your fitness journey or your nutrition journey or anything. You've got to have this stuff really pinpointed and laser focused to know where you want to go. So, thank you guys for your support as always. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you took notes from this, because it is very important and it's something that you can start working on today. You can start building these habits today. Again, you just want to start small. You don't want to make drastic changes. Once you start getting adjusted to those small habits, then you're going to know that you can do another habit and you can change this aspect of your life. So just make sure that you take this into consideration, and take notes of what you can do in your day-to-day life. So if you have any questions about anything I discussed, you can reach out. I have my phone, my email. You can also visit my website to learn more about my online fitness coaching program. So you've got all those resources there if you're interested in learning more about what I have to offer, or if you just have questions or you want to provide any feedback for what I just discussed today. So thank you guys again for watching. I do have another live stream next week that I will be posting pretty soon. I'm going to talk a little bit about macronutrients and discuss that a little bit further to give you guys a clear understanding on what exactly macronutrients are. In other words, they're called macros as well. You've likely heard that term around, and that's what I'm going to be discussing and going a little bit further into exactly what that is. Again, for a lot of the live streams this month, I'm going to focus on very basic topics. And the reason being is because it is a new year, and I do want to sort of laser focus on some of the more simple aspects of, fitness and more simple aspects of nutrition. So that's why I'm focusing on the bare minimum and the basics, so that you guys have an understanding of where you need to start in order to reach a longer term goal. So thank you guys again. Again, I will have another live stream next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, discussing a little bit about macronutrients. So I'll have that event posted soon, but I look forward to you guys next week. And if you're interested in watching, thank you guys again. I'll see you guys in the next live stream.